All right, so today we're going to be diving into something pretty sweet.
Sounds delicious.
It is. It is. We are going to be prepping you to totally nail a chocolate molding operator interview.
Ooh.
So if you are listening to this deep dive, you're probably on your way to a career surrounded by chocolate.
That's right. And we're here to help you shine in that interview, especially in today's world. With AI becoming more and more a part of the recruitment process,
Definitely.
it's crucial to stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. And we're going to be talking about how RoleCatcher can help you do just that.
Yeah.
So first things first.
Okay.
Let's get a taste of what this role, what a chocolate molding operator actually does.
Okay.
And our career guide paints a picture of someone who is not just a chocolate lover, but also kind of like a machine whisperer.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting mix of hands-on work with some technical know-how.
Yeah.
You're going to be managing these machines that are taking liquid chocolate and transforming it into those beautiful, perfectly shaped treats that we all know and love. So it's all about keeping those machines running smoothly, troubleshooting any problems that might come up, and just ensuring that there is a smooth flow of chocolatey goodness.
Okay, that sounds pretty amazing. But our career guide also mentions the factory environment.
Right.
What should our listener be prepared for?
Yeah, it's important to be realistic.
Yeah.
Factories can be a little bit hectic. They can be busy.
Yeah.
So think about the noises, the smells, varying temperatures depending on the process,
Right.
and definitely some physical demands.
Yeah.
You're going to be on your feet. You're going to be moving around. You're going to be lifting things.
Hmm.
So stamina and attention to detail are going to be super important,
Right.
especially when you're dealing with food production,
Right.
where safety and quality are paramount.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So not just a love for chocolate, but also you have to be a little bit physically strong.
You got to be able to handle
You
it.
got to be able to handle it. Okay, so the career guide also highlights some pros and cons. What really stood out to you?
Well, I mean, one of the biggest pros is that there's a high demand for skilled operators.
Okay.
The chocolate industry is growing, especially when it comes to premium and ethically sourced chocolate.
Yeah.
So this is great news for job seekers because it means that there are going to be more and more opportunities out there for people who have the right skills and experience.
That is fantastic news for our listeners.
Yeah.
But the guide also mentions repetitive tasks as a potential downside.
Yeah, that's true. There can be some repetitive aspects to the work,
Right.
but that's where efficiency and a keen eye for detail really come into play.
Yeah.
And I always like to remind myself that even if the tasks are a little bit repetitive, they're
Yeah.
still contributing to making something delicious.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
You're helping to bring chocolate to the world.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Okay, so a balanced perspective is key. The good and
Yeah.
maybe not so thrilling parts.
Yeah.
But now let's get to the heart of the matter, the interview. So we have an interview guide.
Yeah.
It's packed with tons of potential questions.
Um,
So we're going to tackle a few of them and really see how our listeners can impress those hiring managers.
yeah, let's get to the good stuff.
Are you ready to put on your interview hats?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right, first up, can you describe your experience with chocolate molding machines? Now, our listener might be thinking, wait a minute, I haven't worked with these specific machines before.
Right?
So how would you advise them to approach this question?
I think it's all about highlighting transferable skills.
Okay.
So have you ever operated any kind of machinery before?
Yeah.
Even if it was in a different industry?
Mm-hmm.
Have you worked on production lines? Have you followed strict safety protocols?
Right.
Do you have experience with quality control?
Mm-hmm.
Those are all really valuable experiences that you can connect back to this role.
So even if you've never worked in a chocolate factory before, you can still show off the relevant skills that you have. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your practice answers
Oh, cool.
and suggest ways to highlight those transferable skills even more effectively.
Very cool.
It's really neat.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to a question that is all about quality.
All right.
How do you ensure the quality of the chocolate products that you produce?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is a crucial one,
Absolutely.
especially in food production.
Yeah, and this question gives you a chance to really show off your knowledge of the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about thinking about the machine itself. It's
Right.
about thinking from start to finish.
Yeah.
Can you walk them through all the steps that you would take to make sure those chocolate treats are absolutely flawless?
Right.
From checking the raw ingredients to
Yeah.
the final inspection,
Yeah.
just really go into detail about all those different quality control points.
Okay, our guide mentions visual inspections and weight checks.
Right.
What other examples come to mind?
Oh, there are a lot. One that comes to mind is temperature control.
Okay.
Chocolate is really sensitive to temperature changes.
Right.
So even mentioning that you're aware of that and how temperature can affect the quality of the chocolate could be impressive. Maybe you have some experience calibrating equipment or using thermometers to make sure everything is consistent.
Okay.
Those are all things you can talk about.
So you are taking your previous experience and connecting it to specific quality control measures in chocolate production.
Exactly.
Okay, now for a scenario that I think would make any chocolate lover just break out in a cold sweat.
Okay.
How do you handle a molding machine breakdown during production?
Oh, man. A chocolate emergency.
It's an emergency. It's an emergency.
Yeah.
So this question is really getting at your problem-solving skills
Yes.
and how you stay composed under pressure.
Absolutely.
So first, highlight safety.
Yes.
What steps would you take to make sure everyone is safe, the situation is contained?
Yeah.
And then walk them through your troubleshooting process.
Right.
How would you go about diagnosing the problem? What resources would you consult? How would you communicate with your team
Right.
to get things back on track quickly?
Yeah. And even if you don't know all the answers right away, showing that you have that methodical approach to solving problems is key.
Absolutely. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can really shine because their AI can provide feedback on your practice answers and suggest ways to structure your response so you're demonstrating that logical thought process.
Yeah. It's all about showing your ability to think critically and act decisively when you're in a really challenging situation.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on to a question about keeping things nice and clean.
Okay.
How do you maintain a clean and organized workspace?
Ooh.
I'm picturing just a gleaming chocolate haven.
Right.
So I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Yeah, there definitely is. This question goes beyond just how things look. It's about showing that you understand the importance of hygiene standards
Yeah.
and that you're committed to following procedures, especially in a food production environment. So talk about specific cleaning routines that you've followed or organizational systems that you've used and just your general commitment to maintaining a spotless workspace.
So it's not just about your personal preference, but about food safety regulations.
Absolutely.
And making sure you have a high-quality product.
That's right.
Now, question 5. How do you ensure that you meet production targets and deadlines?
Okay.
Time management and chocolate, a delicious combination.
I love it. It is.
So this is your opportunity to highlight your efficiency, your organization.
Absolutely.
Can you share some examples of how you've successfully managed time-sensitive tasks in the past?
Yeah.
Maybe you've used a system to track your progress, or you are good at prioritizing tasks, or maybe you're a really good collaborator with your team to meet those deadlines.
Exactly. And speaking of working smart, RoleCatcher's AI can actually be a really valuable tool here.
Okay.
Because it can analyze the company's production goals, which are often publicly available, and then suggest ways to tailor your answer so that they align with the company's specific targets and metrics.
Now let's dive into a scenario that really tests your technical knowledge.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a complex equipment issue? This is where the machine whisperer really comes into play.
All right, I like that. Yeah, this is your time to show off your problem-solving skills in action.
Right.
So think about a specific situation where you faced a really difficult technical challenge and use what we call the STAR method. Describe the situation, the task, the action that you took, and then the result that you achieved.
So even if it wasn't a chocolate-related issue, you can still demonstrate those problem-solving skills that can be applied to anything.
Exactly.
And when you practice your answer with RoleCatcher, their AI can analyze it for clarity and suggest ways to make that technical explanation more concise and more impactful.
Awesome.
All right, so before we move on to more questions, I think we should talk about safety for a second.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because safety is a crucial part of any manufacturing environment.
Yeah. Safety should always be a top priority.
Always a top priority.
Always.
And we are back diving deeper into those interview questions.
Yes, we are.
That could make or break your chocolate-filled dreams.
Duh.
So we were just talking about the importance of safety.
Right.
Let's jump into a question that really emphasizes that.
Okay.
How do you ensure that you are following safety protocols when working with chocolate molding machines?
Oh, good one.
Our interview guide stresses this a lot. It's not just about knowing the rules.
Right.
It's about showing that you live and breathe those rules.
That's right. Yeah. And this is your chance to really shine by highlighting any specific safety training you might have or certifications.
Right.
Think about the details.
Yeah.
What precautions would you take?
Right. When you're operating the machines, mentioning lockout procedures, emergency stops, even like the proper protective gear.
Right.
That shows that you really take safety seriously.
It's like you have a checklist.
Yes.
In your mind.
A mental checklist.
Ready to go before you even step foot on the factory floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and speaking of being prepared, RoleCatcher can really be a game changer here.
Okay.
Their AI can analyze the company's safety records.
Oh, wow.
Which are often publicly available.
Right.
And suggest ways that you can tailor your answers.
Right.
To match their specific protocols and priorities.
That's really cool.
So you can show the interviewer that you've done your research and you're ready to fit right into that safety culture.
Yeah, you're already ahead of the game.
Okay, on to question 8.
All right.
Can you describe a time when you had to work under pressure to meet a tight deadline?
Okay.
I can feel the pressure already.
Oh, yeah.
So this is your chance to show off your ability to stay cool and collected, even when things are heating up. Right, pun intended.
Unintended.
When things get a little melty.
When things get a little melty in the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
So think of a specific example, maybe from a previous job, where you had to deal with a really challenging deadline. How did you prioritize your tasks, manage your time, and ultimately deliver?
Right.
And our interview guide suggests using the STAR method again.
Yes, the STAR method is great.
It really helps to paint a picture.
Yeah.
Or tell a compelling story that the interviewer will remember.
Right. It gives you a good framework.
Yeah.
And just remember to really focus on the actions that you took and the positive results that you achieved.
Right.
Even if the situation was super stressful.
So it's not about surviving the pressure.
Right.
It's about thriving under that pressure.
Exactly.
And showing them that you can handle those high-stakes moments.
That's right.
Okay, let's talk about hygiene for a second.
Okay.
Especially in food production.
Yes.
How do you ensure that you are following all health and safety guidelines when working with food products?
That's a very important question.
So this goes beyond just workplace safety.
Right.
This is about specific hygiene standards that are crucial for food production.
Absolutely. Yeah. So think about hand washing procedures, protective gear, preventing cross-contamination, all those little details.
Yeah.
Really show the interviewer that you understand how important it is to keep a clean and sanitary work environment.
So you're not just being meticulous about the quality of the chocolate. You're being meticulous about maintaining that safe and hygienic environment for everybody.
That's right. Exactly.
All right, question 10. How do you stay up to date with the latest industry trends and advancements in chocolate molding technology?
Oh, fun.
This is about showing your passion and dedication to this field.
Absolutely.
So mention any industry publications that you follow, any online forums or communities you might engage with, any workshops or courses you might have taken.
Yeah, all those things show that you're actively trying to improve your knowledge and stay ahead of the curve.
So it's not just about knowing how to operate today's machines.
Right.
It's about investing in the future of chocolate molding.
Exactly.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher can give you some valuable insights.
Okay.
Their platform have all this information about industry trends and advancements.
Right.
And can even highlight specific areas that might be really relevant to the company that you're interviewing with.
Okay, so you're basically going in like an expert already.
You go in as an expert.
Wow.
Okay, now for a question that really puts you in the hot seat.
Okay.
So imagine this. You're in the middle of a busy production run.
Okay.
One of the molding machines just starts acting up.
Oh.
It causes a major jam.
Oh, no.
Chocolate is everywhere.
Oh, my God.
The production line grinds to a halt.
That's a nightmare.
What do you do?
Okay, so this is the classic what would you do scenario, right?
Yes.
This is testing your ability to think on your feet and handle a crisis.
Yeah.
So always remember, safety first. Clearly outline the steps you would take to secure the equipment.
Right.
And make sure that everybody's safe.
Right.
And then go into your troubleshooting process. How would you approach the problem systematically? What resources would you consult?
Yeah.
And how would you communicate with your team?
Yeah.
So you can minimize downtime as much as possible.
So you're showing them that you can stay calm, you think logically, to take decisive action, even when faced with a chocolate meltdown.
Exactly.
Okay, shifting gears to a question that's all about quality control.
Right.
How do you ensure that the chocolate products you produce are free from contamination?
Ooh.
This is a critical aspect of food production.
Absolutely, yes. And this question gives you a chance to show off your knowledge of GMP, good manufacturing practices, and HACCP, hazard analysis, and critical control points.
These are industry standard systems for food safety.
Yes, so make sure to mention that you're familiar with them. That'll really impress them.
And our guide mentions things like proper storage and handling of ingredients, regular cleaning and sanitation procedures, even personal hygiene.
It's all connected, right?
It's all connected.
Yeah.
You're showing a holistic understanding of food safety, from the raw ingredients to the finished product.
Exactly.
All right, let's tackle a question that focuses on adaptability.
Okay.
Imagine you're tasked with operating a new type of chocolate molding machine that you've never seen before.
Okay.
How would you approach this challenge?
Oh, look at a good one.
This is a test of your willingness to learn.
Yes.
And your resourcefulness.
Absolutely. And I think the key here is to really show that you're excited about learning new things.
Yeah.
And that you're able to quickly pick up new systems.
So talk about your process for becoming familiar with this new equipment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you consult the manuals, seek guidance from more experienced operators? Would you utilize online resources? And RoleCatcher could be really helpful here too.
Oh, right.
They probably have resources on all different types of machinery.
They do.
You could research, you could even practice operating similar machines virtually.
Oh, wow.
You can get a head start before you even set foot on the factory floor.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay, now let's talk teamwork.
All right.
Describe a time when you had to collaborate with your colleagues to solve a problem on the production line.
Ooh, a team effort.
Chocolate production, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
So this question is all about showing off those collaborative skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Think of a situation where you and your colleagues faced a challenge together.
Okay.
Highlight your communication skills, your ability to listen to other people's ideas,
Right.
and ultimately how you as a team came to a solution.
Right.
So you're not just a skilled operator. You're a valuable team player.
Yes.
Who can contribute to a positive and productive work environment.
That's right.
All right, let's move on to a question that emphasizes consistency. How do you ensure consistency in the weight and appearance of the chocolate products you produce?
Oh, good one.
This is a crucial part of quality control.
Absolutely. Customers expect consistency.
Right.
And this question really gives you a chance to show that you understand how to achieve that.
So talk about calibrating the machines.
Right.
Carefully measuring the ingredients.
Yes.
Monitoring the temperature and viscosity of that chocolate.
It's all about the details.
All those little details show your commitment to delivering that uniform, high-quality product.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, now for a question that focuses on independence.
Okay.
Describe a time when you had to work on a task with minimal supervision.
All right.
How did you manage your time and stay on track?
Oh, I like this one.
So this is a test of your initiative, your self-motivation.
Absolutely, because even in a team environment, there are times when you're going to have to work independently.
Right.
And you're going to have to show that you can manage your own workload effectively.
So think of a time when you were given a task and you had very little guidance. How did you break that task down?
Right.
Into smaller steps? How did you prioritize your work, and how did you stay focused?
That's a good one.
It's all about showcasing your ability to take ownership.
Yeah.
And be proactive, even when you're not being directly supervised.
Exactly.
Now let's test your problem-solving skills once again.
Okay.
Imagine you notice that the chocolate bars coming out of the molding machine have a slightly uneven surface.
Uh-oh.
What steps would you take to identify and resolve this issue?
Okay.
So we're back to being chocolate detectives.
I like it.
So this question is all about systems. So it's a combination of your technical knowledge, your attention to detail,
Right.
and that chocolate detective mindset.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that was quite a journey.
It was a journey.
Through those challenging interview questions,
Definitely.
are you feeling ready to impress those hiring managers?
I think we've covered a lot of good ground.
We really have.
Yeah, I think anyone listening has some really great insights
Absolutely.
to work with.
And we're back for the final stretch of our deep dive into acing that chocolate molding operator interview.
We are ready to seal the deal.
You've got all these great insights so far.
Yes.
Now it's time for the last few questions.
Okay.
That can really make all the difference.
All right.
Okay, so let's talk about a question that tends to make people a little bit nervous.
Sure.
What are your salary expectations for this role?
Yeah.
Our interview guide really emphasizes being prepared for this one.
It's so important.
So what do you think?
I think it's really crucial to do your research beforehand. Look into what's standard in the industry for similar roles in your area. Take into account your own experience and your own skills.
Right.
And then come prepared with a salary range that you feel is fair and realistic.
So it's about finding that sweet spot.
It is.
Where you're being fair to yourself, but also recognizing the market value of this position.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And, don't be afraid to negotiate a little bit.
Yeah.
But always do it professionally and respectfully.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears to a question that's all about the future.
Okay, I like it.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, this is a great one.
What do you think?
This is your time to really show off what your goals are, what you're hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
What are your long-term goals?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself specializing in one particular area of chocolate production?
Right.
Do you want to take on more of a leadership role? Maybe explore other parts of the industry like the research and development side? So many options.
It's not just about getting this particular job. It's about showing that you are thinking ahead.
Absolutely.
And you have a vision for your future in chocolate.
Fested. Yeah.
Okay. And before we say goodbye,
okay,
let's talk about a question that I think often gets overlooked.
Right. What's that?
Do you have any questions for us?
Oh, this is a good one.
So many people just say, nope, I think I'm good.
I know.
But this is your chance to turn the tables.
It is.
And really show how engaged you are.
Yeah.
How curious you are.
Right.
So how would you suggest a listener approach this question?
I think it's a good idea to prepare a few thoughtful questions in advance.
Okay.
Things that show that you've done your research on the company, that you're genuinely interested in the role.
Yeah. So instead of just saying, no, I think I'm good.
Right.
You can wow them with these really insightful questions.
Yeah. You could ask about the company culture.
Okay.
You could ask about their commitment to sustainability. Ask about opportunities for professional development.
Yeah.
Or even just their latest innovations in chocolate molding technology.
Okay.
Just showing that you're not just looking for a job.
Right.
You're looking for a place where you can really grow and contribute.
Absolutely.
Make it a career.
And speaking of growth,
Yeah.
one last thought before we say goodbye. The world of chocolate, it's constantly evolving.
It is.
So stay curious.
Yeah.
Embrace new challenges.
Absolutely.
Never stop learning.
That's great advice.
So the more you invest in your knowledge and skills, the more opportunities are going to open up for you in this exciting, delicious field.
You got it.
All right. Well, there you have it.
That's a wrap.
We've covered so many interview questions.
I did.
We've explored all the ins and outs of the chocolate molding operator role.
Yes.
And hopefully you're leaving this deep dive feeling prepared and excited to start your chocolate-filled career journey.
I hope so.
Remember, RoleCatcher is a great resource for tailoring your application, practicing your interview skills, and ultimately landing that sweet job.
Yes. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.